Hi, this is Kim Butler. Do you ever struggle helping your clients see where their life insurance premium dollars are going to come from? Well, Todd has a diversification calculator that can prove a very interesting fact. Todd, why don't you give us a quick demo?
All right. And so the idea behind this, just to add to what Kim said, is that life insurance premiums build assets rather than destroy them, as most people think, because the money's got to come from somewhere, right? And so everybody looks at what happens to the account and the money comes from, but they never also pair that with the growth that occurs on the life insurance side. So this calculator allows us to be able to show both together, which is hugely beneficial. So we can see whatever we're doing in one asset, shifting the dollars to the life insurance all on one page. So we're going to do this over a 25-year time frame. So our illustration period will be 25 years. We're going to use a $150,000 current asset. We're not going to put in any new money going in, no additional dollars, because again, that'll just cloud the issue. And I like to actually show, even if they do have new money, showing those separately sometimes can be easier for the client to keep track of. So we've got 150,000 of existing assets. We're going to skip over the annual. We're going to go to a fixed rate, and let's just put a 6% asset that's got a management fee of 1.5. We're going to put in a 24% income tax bracket. We're going to put in some term insurance of $250,000. So when she puts in the term insurance of $250,000, we're also going to have to put in where are the rates and everything else for that. So if we click on the little spreadsheet over here on the right, we have the option to load stored life insurance data. And of course, where these dollars are coming from is from the life insurance values tool. So make sure you understand how that works. It's a critical piece to have in place already before you get to this, so that you can work through this with the client without getting bogged down with putting life insurance numbers in here. So that needs to already be in there. And again, just go over the life insurance values tool tutorial to see how that's done. All right, so we're going to pull in this 45-year-old values, and we're also going to pull in a 20-year level term policy. So she's going ahead and pulling in both the permanent insurance and the term insurance into kind of a behind the scenes holding place. And this is, again, has been pulled from the life insurance values tool. We can see that $1 million of term insurance is $1,560 premium. So since we're only going to buy $250,000, it's basically going to buy a fourth of that premium. And when we get to the life insurance, we can see that we have an illustration already built in here for a $39,000 premium that buys about around $1 million of death benefit. But we're just going to use a portion of that. But just to show you what's behind the scenes, that's what this is right here. All right, go ahead and close that. And we see our term insurance premium dropped in, so $390. Again, that's about a quarter of what the actual illustration had, because it was for $1 million rather than $250,000. We also see that premium jump between year 20 and year 21 to $11,623. Now, to keep the ages straight, one of the things that we can also do here, which I think this would be a good time, is where it says year, we're going to click that and change it to age, and we're going to change that 1 to 45, because this is our 45-year-old. All right, so now we see at 64, the premium is $390. At age 65, it's going to jump to $11,623, which is when the individual would certainly cancel this insurance. So the age to cancel, we're going to put as age 64. And there we see that drop off of that, both the death benefit and the premiums drop off then at age 65. All right, so in this scenario, we have 3.19% is the actual yield on assets. It's also going to be the actual yield of the heirs because the death benefit fell off the books. So both the value of the assets in the future at age 69 in this case is $328,758, and the value to the heirs is going to be the same, $328,758, because they canceled the term insurance. So what we're going to look at is what would happen if we shifted money from this account to life insurance over this time frame. And we have a button that will automatically interpolate those values. Yes, it won't give us the band breaks exactly, but rather than having to run an illustration for every possible amount we might come up with during the discussion, we can simply use this transfer to PLI button to calculate an amount of premium that will automatically interpolate the cash value and death benefit for that amount for us of the amount that we pulled in. In other words, that $39,000 premium, we're not going to pull all that in. We're just going to use here initially $4,500 per year. So if she types in $4,500 per year, it's going to pull in a ratio of the cash value and death benefit based on the difference between $39,000 premium and a $4,500 premium. We can see that what we wanted to happen was to keep that account relatively level. So we're just pulling off the earnings on the account. So on the far left, we can see the beginning of year value staying around that $150,000 mark, just slightly below it. At some point in time there, between age 65 and 66, we can see that the value starts to increase again. And the reason for that is this illustration that was run was actually run with an offset at the 20-year mark. So we can see our $4,500 stopped. And when it stopped coming out of the account, it let the other account continue to grow. So we pulled off the $4,500 for 20 years. It kept the account relatively level. When that stopped, that other account, the initial $150,000 account, continued to grow. And now what we see is at our age 69, that we have $335,000 total value of assets. Now that's going to be a combination of the cash value of $159,395 and the remaining amount in the $150,000 account of $170,301. We're also going to see that now the value to the heirs is going to be $463,000 because it's going to include the total death benefit, where in the initial scenario, it had to be canceled. Now, if this individual goes this route, they could get rid of some of that term insurance because there was new life insurance death benefit purchased. So for the same cost, we could reduce the amount of the term premium on the existing asset. So there's a button up here for term premium recovery. When we click on that, we can see that the term premiums were reduced to handle the difference in the death benefit that was picked up. Now we see our yield on assets of 3.36% and the yield to the heirs of 4.68%. So right now it's a little tough sometimes to put this in perspective, but there's an easy way to do it. If we go to our chart, so click on the little green chart icon, and under asset value, we can see that early in this illustration that the burgundy color there, the account value without PLI, is actually slightly ahead of the blue column, which is the value with our shift to life insurance. But around between age 61 and 62, there's a crossover that occurs, and the life insurance starts to outrun the other assets. So the life insurance with the existing assets versus just purely the existing assets with no shift to the life insurance, over time, there's a crossover that occurs and the life insurance is more. If we look at the death benefit, which is on the chart is number 2, then what we see is that the life insurance and the existing asset, the death benefit is all the same until the term insurance has to drop off the books. And then we see that the illustration using life insurance is quite a bit better than the other side. All right, so let's close the chart. And let's look at another option. What if we decided to shift more money to the life insurance and actually do a pay down on that existing asset? And let's go ahead, Kim, and use $9,500. And so if we look at the far left column, we can see our $150,000 dropping each year until we get to a place that the premiums stop. And there's still $16,000 in the account and growing over that time frame. Now, our growth to our heirs is considerably larger. We're up to $627,000 to our heirs and $356,000 worth of liquid assets for the individual who owns the assets. So again, let's look at the chart. As the asset value, we see a similar line, just a little larger difference out there at the end. And if we look at the death benefit, which is number 2, then we see a considerable amount more death benefit over that time frame. Not only do we have these benefits, so the life insurance clearly outruns that 6% account, but on top of that, we have use of these dollars, where in the case of the original scenario, that money is probably going to be locked up in some asset somewhere where it's going to be difficult to access. So what we're assuming here is that the life insurance was parked. It was never used to take advantage of some opportunities that might come along, and yet it still outran that other asset.
Super. Thank you. So for your practice, think about how you could show clients a shift in assets that would actually enable them to have a better situation because of the life insurance, both cash value and death benefit. And there are a variety of other things that you can do with this calculator. You'll notice up there, there's a couple different accounts that can be used. Todd didn't address the new money environment if you are putting new dollars in every year. Lots of different things that we cover in our 3-day truth training. Join us sometime.